It's Saturday, December 6th, 2025. I'm meteorologist Brian Shields. In this video, I want to track a couple areas, both which could bring flooding. This one in particular, even the potential of some moderate to serious flooding, parts of Trinidad and Tobago, watching Guyana, Venezuela. I want to zoom down into that. So a couple spots to watch. I'm not seeing them developing into anything tropical in nature like a tropical storm or tropical depression or spitting up. But you see this area here in the Atlantic, this is what I've been highlighting the last few days. This will start to work our way later today and especially tonight, starting to work into the southeastern Caribbean with rather significant rain possible as we work our way into tonight and into tomorrow. Then we swing over here. This is the spot we've been watching all week long, even from last weekend, right? Here's Jamaica, Cayman Islands right here. As expected, the heaviest rain with this staying to the south, but this worked through the eastern Caribbean, moved back toward the ABC Islands, and now it's marching close to San Andres and Providencia, Nicaragua, Honduras, so watching over toward the Bay Islands, and it will increase the chance of rain, even Belize, parts of Mexico, Guatemala, and El Salvador as that works in. Not developing into anything tropical, but some downpours will be possible with it. If that's not enough to the north, a big moisture feed. Look at Mexico. I've been highlighting this as well. All of this moisture swinging into Mexico, parts of South and East Texas, back toward parts of the U.S., and we'll see a lot of rain surging through parts of Florida and then back through Bermuda. We'll track that as well in this video, with one system leaving the Atlantic region of Canada and another one starting to work into the Pacific Northwest of the U.S. Let's start here, though, with the significant rain that will be a potential starting tonight and then in through the day tomorrow. Here's a look at Trinidad and Tobago, and you can see this, this white and almost this black shading getting in here. That's where we could see some totals that could be upwards of 100 millimeters of rain or as high as 150. Could be even a little higher in some spots. It won't be quite for all of us, but where we get it, maybe it's a little bit more Tobago, maybe it's a little bit more over toward Venezuela. We'll see. But in this pocket overall here, significant rain totals, right? So again, not super widespread, but where we get it, it is going to be a problem and it could lead to flooding. If I have to put out additional updates, if you're subscribed, you'll get those first, of course. And with that, I really appreciate you just sharing this information. See, as we work our way into tonight and tomorrow, upwards of 100 millimeters of rain or 4 inches of rain or more. Again, it could press 20 centimeters in some spots. So watching out for that flood risk, quick runoff. So we do need to monitor for even some slides in some spots. And what I want to watch out for as well as we get into Trinidad and Tobago and other spots through this month, the pattern may get kind of locked in where every few days we could get some decent rain. So we need to monitor some of those rivers as we go forward. So let's take you out in time here. This is our Saturday afternoon. Here's some of the rain, mainly over the Atlantic, but nudging closer to Trinidad, northeastern Venezuela, and Guyana. That's that area we're watching coming in from the Atlantic. And then you see here's that rain near the Cayman Islands. Grand Cayman, we could get a little more rain swinging south toward the Bay Islands right here. These are the two spots we're watching. Going out in time here as we work our way into our Sunday afternoon. And you see again, it may not be all night and all day, but at times some heavier rain right through Trinidad and Tobago, keeping an eye on Grenada, St. Vincent the Grenadines as well. Scattered areas of rain elsewhere, Costa Rica and Panama, rain chance bouncing up a little bit. Then as we head into our Monday, the moisture from here is going to kind of stream toward the ABC Islands again. So the rain chance could be a little bit higher, Aruba, Curacao, and Bonaire by the time we get into Monday. And then we're watching a front that will be dropping through. So look at the Bahamas, for example, back toward western end of Cuba, even central Cuba, additional rain in through here, but here's this area that surges back towards Central America again, similar to the last batch of rain, watching the front in through here. So Belize, Guatemala, Mexico, the Yucatan Peninsula, additional rain Monday into Tuesday, not only with moisture building, but that front here, and then kind of scattered about through the Eastern Caribbean, but sometimes these patterns get locked in, so we'll see if there's any additional rain that will be feeding into the Eastern Caribbean as we work our way into next week. Now, lifting to the north here, I mentioned this here, this system leaving Newfoundland and then swinging all the way back here, but this is the big moisture feed Mexico, southern and southeastern U.S., a couple little clipper systems here with some snow, but look at that significant rain right in through here. Look how it kind of builds even tomorrow, especially parts of North Florida tomorrow. Significant rain, and then this will surge its way, kind of gets tied into the front, that moisture feed. Watch what happens here. You can see this moisture building right back through Florida into Bermuda by the time we get into Monday with this area here. Backside of it, a little bit of snow as well. Parts of North Carolina and Virginia coming through, but really heavier rain in this sector, and then a new system diving down toward British Columbia and the Pacific Northwest. So active really across the board right now. Now the seas are going to be choppier. I mentioned the Atlantic waters, which is rather common for this time of year. Bumpier across the Atlantic, a little bit of a chop in the Caribbean. But as we go out in time here with all this moisture sitting up through here, we finally get a kick of a front. So Monday into Tuesday, the seas building in southeast U.S. back through the Gulf. You see it right here in northern Bahamas, especially Tuesday. Higher seas off the coast of Florida as well, with that next system pressing by, and of course those very high seas near Bermuda. So watching the rain, look at some of these totals and I'll break it down further. So we're looking at here parts of North Florida, upwards of about 4 inches of some rain. Could be a little bit higher. We may get 4 to 5 inches of rain in some spots. Watching that over toward the Jacksonville area with some significant rain, and then we'll keep an eye on the northern Bahamas for some additional rain. Freeport and New Providence. Back through the eastern end of Cuba, not a whole lot. Spotty Cayman Islands. We'll see if some of this rain here kind of creeps back toward Grand Cayman. Hit or miss Turks and Caicos, Haiti, the Dominican Republic, Antigua, Barbuda, back through Puerto Rico, U.S. and British Virgin Islands, St. Kitts and Nevis, Anguilla, St. Martin, St. Barts, Sebastian. But we get here, this is where we're going to see the heavier rain. Now, Grenada, we're going to be on the edge of it. We'll see. We'll just kind of wait and see, especially tomorrow into tomorrow night, to see how much of this rain kind of lifts closer to Grenada. St. Vincent the Grenadines, St. Lucia, Barbados, hit or miss. But watching the southern islands of St. Vincent the Grenadines and Grenada just to see how close this rain gets. So heads up in Grenada. Watching this area of rain carefully and closely over the next few days. There's the heavier rain as well. Northeastern Venezuela, northern Guyana, where we'll have spots over 75 millimeters of rain, pressing 100 millimeters of rain. And here's that moisture pulling into Honduras. Some spots anywhere from 25 millimeters of rain to about 75 millimeters of rain, or 1 to about 3 inches of rain. Yucatan Peninsula, Belize, Guatemala, El Salvador, Honduras, Nicaragua, Costa Rica. Some spots stay dry. And then watching Colombia and the ABC Islands. We're going to watch how this moisture kind of builds across. Here's that moisture feed building back through Mexico. Not as much into Texas, but it's this sector here where we have those higher totals, including parts of Georgia and South Carolina, even clipping by North Carolina with some spots of at least 2 to 3 inches of rain. But this sector here, right through North Florida, as I mentioned, 4 to even 5, maybe a little bit more, 6 inches of some rain in some spots. So Jamaica, isolated showers for us the next 2 days through the weekend. We're looking at a 30% chance. We swing back toward the Cayman Islands again. Grand Cayman, that's where we have a chance, a better chance of getting some of that rain. Not widespread, but we could get some rain. But Trinidad and Tobago, tonight into tomorrow, that's the concern. Monitoring that flood threat. Got you covered clearly. I'll be watching that. We'll put out additional updates if needed. Barbados, meanwhile, most of the rain stays to the south. Same thing in St. Lucia. Not that we can't get some rain, but that rain chance holding at about 30%. We get back toward Grenada, though, tomorrow on the edge of it. It's going to be a very close call, so we'll be watching that as well. So in Grenada, again, monitor this rain. We'll be monitoring it together. St. Vincent the Grenadines covered that. Again, southern islands, better chance of getting rain on our Sunday. Martinique, today and tomorrow, rain chance at about 40%. Today and tomorrow in Dominica, rain chance at 40% as well. We swing to the north, Guadeloupe, isolated, 30% chance through the weekend. Antigua, Barbuda, a 30% chance today and a 20% chance for tomorrow. Rain chance stays very isolated. St. Kitts and Nevis and Montserrat, 20% chance. Anguilla and St. Barts, St. Martin, Sebastian, rain chance holding at 20%. A 30% chance of a shower today. Very isolated as we work our way back through Puerto Rico. 20% chance today, U.S. and British Virgin Islands. Only a 10% chance tomorrow, mainly dry. But with that moisture in Florida, some of that will spill over into the northern Bahamas with that better chance of rain starting to build tomorrow into early in the upcoming week. Turks and Caicos rain chance stays on the small side. The Dominican Republic through the weekend, about a 30 to 40% chance, just a 20% chance as we work our way back toward Haiti. But you see in Belize, rain chance bumps up tomorrow to a 50% chance. By the time we get into Monday, even higher because we have that moisture moving in from the east and that front dropping in Belize. So we're up to about a 70% chance on Monday. And you see Aruba as well with that moisture coming through Trinidad and Tobago. By the time we get into early next week, Aruba, Curacao, and Bonaire, that rain chance higher. Monday in particular, even Tuesday, watching that. Guyana, northern sections, better chance of seeing some of the rain and that flood potential. Suriname, not a whole lot, mainly northern sections though. Then we work our way back toward Cuba. That rain chance will increase on Monday with that front dropping in from the north. Costa Rica and Panama the next couple of days. Rain chance at 60%. Nicaragua, a 50% chance. And watching that moisture, northern and eastern sections of Honduras, the better chance of rain. But you see how it builds. Guatemala and El Salvador, a 50% chance tomorrow and a 50% chance again on Monday. Even Mexico City with that moisture feed pulling through the Baja, rain chance does bump up a little bit. In the Yucatan Peninsula, we're going to get a better chance of rain. Moisture again moving in from the east, but that front dropping down from the south. Merida, Campeche, Cancun, Cozumel, rain chance will be higher. Northern Colombia, 40 to 50% chance. Building in northern Venezuela, of course, higher northeastern Venezuela. And then in Bermuda, that big batch of rain that will be moving in, even some gustier winds once we work our way into Sunday night and Monday. It will be turning west. So tracking those two areas of heavy rain through the Caribbean, the flooding risk getting higher, turning wet in the southeastern Caribbean, kind of starting tonight and then more so through the day tomorrow. And it looks like this active pattern will continue through the month. So we're going to monitor the rivers, that flood potential, and of course, even some of that earthquake activity. So thank you for sharing this channel with your community. I'll be watching your comments throughout the day. I hope you're doing well. Have a really good Saturday ahead.